When your dog sighs, do you actually know what that means? You probably think it's just them relaxing, maybe even being a little dramatic. But behind that soft exhale, there's something deeper that most dog owners completely miss. It's one of the most emotional things your dog can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might miss a critical signal about how your dog is really feeling. Let's start with what this behavior really means. 1. It's not just relaxation, it's emotional release. You hear it all the time, that slow, heavy sigh as your dog lays down. Maybe after a long day. Maybe when they curl up next to you. Most people think it's about being tired. Like your dog is just saying,
Finally, time to rest.
Finally, time to rest. Here's what's actually happening. That sigh is often an emotional release. Not just physical relaxation, but a shift in how your dog feels inside. Dogs don't talk. They don't vent. They don't explain their day. So instead, their body does it for them. That deep exhale, it's their version of letting something go. It could be relief. It could be mild, stress fading, or even a quiet moment of emotional processing. Think about that for a second. Your dog just went through something big or small, and that sigh is how they reset. In a pack setting, animals constantly regulate their emotions to stay balanced. Too much tension, too much uncertainty. It creates instability. So your dog releases it quietly. And what this reveals about how your dog sees you is powerful. They feel safe enough around you to let their guard down. That sigh isn't random. It's trust. But here's where it gets deeper. 2. The signs of that soft exhale. Have you ever noticed your dog sigh more in certain situations? Like after being ignored, or when they're watching you from across the room? Most people assume it's coincidence. Here's what's actually happening. A 2018 study from the University of Vienna found that dogs display measurable emotional changes based on social interaction, lack of it. When dogs receive less engagement, their behavior shifts subtly, not dramatically, not loudly, but quietly. Through things like body posture, eye contact, and yes, even sighing. Another study in canine cognition shows that dogs experience emotional states similar to humans, including mild frustration and emotional fatigue. But here's what matters. Your dog isn't just breathing out air. They're expressing a feeling they don't know how to resolve. Think about that for a second. That sigh might not be about rest. It might be about disconnection. A moment where your dog expected something, attention, interaction, reassurance, and didn't get it. So they release that tension the only way they can. And here's where it gets even more powerful. This means your dog is constantly reading you, reacting to you, adjusting emotionally based on you. That sigh, it's feedback. 3. Your scent, your presence, your dog's safe base. Now think about when your dog sighs the most. Is it when they're lying next to you, at your feet, or in the same room while you're doing nothing at all? Most people think it's just comfort. Here's what's actually happening. Dogs are scent-driven animals. Your smell, your presence, your routine. It all defines their sense of safety. A 2021 study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs can recognize and emotionally respond to their owner's scent. When the owner, he's invisible. But here's what matters. Your dog isn't just recognizing you. They're anchoring themselves to you. That sigh. It often happens when they feel your presence and finally relax into it, like a quiet confirmation. I'm okay now. Think about that for a second. Your dog isn't just near you. They're settling into you emotionally. In a pack, proximity equals safety. Being close to the leader or trusted members reduces stress instantly. So when your dog sighs near you, they're not bored. They're not lazy. They're grounding themselves in your presence. And what this reveals about how your dog sees you. You are their safe base. And, hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog owners who actually want to understand what their dog is really saying. 4. This behavior comes from pack survival. Now here's where it goes even deeper. Have you ever wondered why dogs evolved to express emotions this quietly? Most people think behaviors like sighing are random. Here's what's actually happening. In the wild, showing too much emotion is dangerous. Wolves and early canines survive by staying balanced. Not too aggressive, not too weak. A loud reaction that attracts attention. Predators, rivals, threats. So instead, emotional shifts happen subtly through posture, through breathing, through small signals like a sigh. Think about that for a second. Your dog inherited this system. That sigh is a controlled release, a way to regulate emotion without disrupting the group. Even puppies show early forms of this. After mild stress or uncertainty, they settle with small physical cues. And here's where it connects to you. Your home is their pack environment. So when your dog sighs, they're not just reacting randomly. They're regulating themselves within your world. And what this reveals about how your dog sees you. You are part of their emotional structure. They don't do this with everyone. Now, ask yourself this. Does your dog sigh like this around strangers? Or only around you? Most people don't even notice the difference. Here's what's actually happening. Dogs are selective with vulnerability. That sigh, that full emotional release, only happens when they feel safe. Not just physically safe, emotionally safe. Think about that for a second. Your dog is choosing when to let that guard down. And they don't do it with everyone. They might stay alert around others, tense, watchful. But around you, they exhale, they soften, they release. That's not random. That's emotional trust. In a pack, vulnerability is only shown to trusted members because showing it to the wrong one could mean danger. So, when your dog sighs near you, they're telling you something without words. I trust this space. I trust you. And here's where most owners get it wrong. They ignore it. 6. The real message behind that. Now let's bring this all together. Because this is the part most people never realize. The sigh isn't just about relaxation or boredom or even mild stress. Here's what's actually happening. It's a communication signal. A quiet one, but an important one. It can mean, I feel safe. I am letting go. I needed something. I am okay now. Or sometimes, I wish you noticed me. Think about that for a second. One simple sound, and it carries layers of emotion. And here's where it gets even deeper. Your response matters. Your dog adapts. They stop expressing. They withdraw subtly. But if you notice it, a glance, a touch, a word, you reinforce connection. You tell your dog, I hear you. And that changes everything. 7. If the sighing changes, don't ignore it. Now here's something most people never think about. What if your dog suddenly sighs more than usual, or stops sighing altogether? Most people assume nothing is wrong. Here's what's actually happening. Changes in sighing patterns can signal emotional or even physical shifts. more frequent sighing. It could mean increased stress, uncertainty, or disconnection. Less sighing? It might mean your dog is no longer fully relaxing. Think about that for a second. The absence of that soft release could mean your dog doesn't feel as safe as before, or something deeper is bothering them. This is where most owners get it wrong. They wait for obvious signs, but dogs rarely show obvious signs. First, they start small, subtle, quiet, like a sigh. Don't ignore this. So next time your dog sighs, pause for a moment. Remember what you thought it meant. Just rest. Just a habit. Just a random sound. But now, you know the truth. That's not just relaxation. That's emotional release. That's not just breathing. That's communication. And that behavior, it was never small to your dog. And it shouldn't be small to you either.